Rob, let's go here. A lot of people, I think we may have broached it or mentioned it, and obviously some callers mentioned, and Rob G is just hyped.
He's giddy.
Rob
like
G
a
put his
schoolgirl.
little $3 on, Lakers at 50-1 odds to win the championship. And he is just swears that they're about to get Kyrie and win it all. And so let's talk about the possibility, the notion of Kyrie Irving going to the Lakers. Now, let me start with this, Rob. The Nets over the summer, because remember, Kyrie was in play over the summer. They had no interest in Russell Westbrook. And Mark Stein brought it up. He said, look, first of all, Rob, it obviously goes as a player. They probably don't want him. But beyond that, they already are in the luxury tax, I believe. And this would put him even further because he makes more. He makes about $10 million more than Kyrie.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, exactly. And so they don't want to take him on. So this notion that, they just, and you even mentioned it earlier, this notion that, but he comes off the cap. Well, Kyrie does too.
Exactly.
So if it's just a cap hit,
right.
You'll let Kyrie walk. And, Rob, you don't have to pay all that extra luxury tax. So I think barring a 3-team deal, and this is where Rob Pelinka would earn his money, is if he can somehow find a 3-team deal that satisfies the Nets and they are able to get Kyrie Irving, then more power to him. But, Rob, I think it's going to be incredibly difficult. Now, if I were the Nets, and I said this earlier, I don't even know if they do this with the luxury tax situation, but I talked to Kevin Durant. Would you be interested in playing with Russell Westbrook again? They weren't, Rob, even though they didn't win a championship, they were really a really good team. They got to the finals, obviously. They had Harden that year.
How many years ago was that?
No, it was a while, but I'm just saying they beat some really good Spurs teams in the playoffs, and injuries befell them as much as anything. Durant was hurt at a point. Westbrook was hurt at a point. Serge Ibaka's hurt at a point. And I'm not saying they would win it, but we both think if Westbrook were in a different situation, he could put up very good numbers. I don't think Durant will want to entertain it, but I would see if he's interested. But overall, bottom line, Rob, I don't think that Westbrook is going to end up with the Nets, and I think it's going to be difficult for the Lakers to get Kyrie.
I agree. I just think there's too many things. Chris, financially, you just said it. Because when you get over a certain threshold, it's almost double. You're paying $2 for one.
Right.
So
and even more at times.
Right. So what are you doing there? Does that make any sense? Right.
To not win.
Right. To not win,
right.
Chris. To not win. Right. That makes no sense. You would say entertain it if you were like, if we get him, we're gonna win the championship. That's not what this is. Okay. Number two, that Westbrook was a long time ago. He's now been on 4 teams in 6 years or whatever it is.
Houston, Washington, OKC before that, of course, and the Lakers. Yep.
So that's 4 teams in the last 6 years. This is the first team he's been with 2 years in a row because they couldn't get rid of him, Chris. Well, it's not like they couldn't get rid of him over the summer. They tried. Boy, did they try. And then last night was like, and I know, Chris, his numbers are a little bit better, but not that much better from a year ago. The
numbers weren't bad a year ago. It's just the fit, and it's just play decision making. You know what I mean?
It's the turnovers.
He's playing fine, but
last night it was 2 for 16 from the field. It's nights like that where you scratch your head and you can't figure it out. And I just don't see if I'm the Nets, I just like. I'm just going to ride this out. And you know what? If this is not meant to be and he wants to leave and we can't sign him, we'll just have to accept it and move on and take the L. Take the L in life sometimes, Chris. Take the L if the L is not taking back something you don't want and having a guy not satisfying him, right? Like letting him win and get whatever he wants. He ruined what we have. Yep. He put his foot in our birthday cake, and now you're going to go out and buy him cake and 2 cupcakes. Right. Are you going to do that? I'm not doing that.
No. And I'm with you. Like we said, they should negotiate from a position of strength.
Play hardball like they did with Durant.
Right. If he wants to walk, peace.
Right.
Peace. I mean, you've been great at times, but you've been more of a headache. I hate to say it, but it's true. You've been a headache. And Rob, they caught major flack earlier in the season for all that stuff that was going on.
Yep.
And so it just is what it is, man. And
but the
so
Lakers,
now let me say this.
Right,
if the Lakers did get him, Rob, and we're gonna assume, and it, you know what they say about when you assume, but
yes,
I'll say it. If they got Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis stays healthy, they the favorites in the West. Do you disagree with that?
I disagree. I think that's only on paper. I think that they are too much of. You remember the last time, Chris, and I know this is different. I don't want to. Remember a couple years ago when I said that the Lakers wouldn't make the play-in. This was not last year. This was 2 years ago, whatever, when they didn't make it. And I said, too many things have to go right. Do you remember that? I don't know if you. I said,
yeah.
The issue was too many things have to go right for it to work. And that is whenever you're asking for,
I think, was that Westbrook's first year there?
Yeah. Remember, I was like,
okay.
I think like too many things have to go right, for them to be able to make this work. And it didn't happen. They didn't make it. The same thing here. I hear you. On paper, you look at it and say, oh, they got Kyrie. Okay. They got LeBron. Okay. And you got Anthony Davis. Wow. You should. 3 players in the NBA of that ilk, you should be the favorite.
Right.
Can't count on AD. Can't count on LeBron to fully stay healthy the whole time. I mean, knock on wood so far.
Yeah, I mean, he's
had a little earlier in the year he had an injury early.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like right. This year he's been a little different. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. And then you don't know what Kyrie, the wild card, and that is the issue. Yeah, does he have flashbacks from the last time he won it away from LeBron? Does LeBron do something that, you know what I mean? He's like, nah.
Well, Kyrie's always going to be that wild card.
No, he's a wild card.
Right. And I feel like this, and Mark Stein kind of alluded to it, Rob. See, I remember when you said so much has to go right, and you were right. But I don't think nearly as much has to go right this time. Like if they were to get Kyrie, obviously AD's got to stay healthy. I think LeBron, now he's old, so maybe not. I think he'll be fine health-wise. Kyrie, and I know we've been burned by him before. Like we said, he couldn't even go 3 months without an incident. But I don't, when he was with LeBron, 3 years, he was on his best. Like, that's the best he's played. I mean, individually, he's been great since then, but as a team, he hasn't been able to win and help a team win. The Celtics have been better without him. But I think Kyrie, at least for the rest of this season, Rob, would be fine. So I don't think it would be as much of a, I think the only thing that really has to go right, of course, Kyrie, that's always the case. But really, it's AD. And so I agree with you. I'm not saying they definitely would win the West. But, Rob, the West is wide open.
I know.
Wide open. And I think if those three
it's so
came
wide
together,
open that they're not even in the playoff
they would
mix
be
now,
the favorite.
Right?
They've been banged up, and that's legit. But I'm just saying, I'm assuming Anthony Davis will be healthy. Because I just hate, baking in, he's going to be hurt. No matter who it is. Same thing with the Clippers.
Right.
I mean, we like the Clippers, but you got to, so much has to go right.
Right, and there's no way you could pencil in the Clippers automatically. You just can't do it anymore.
No, you can't pencil in them or the Lakers.
Right. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know who's going to be around in April. I don't know who's on load management. You don't know.
No, it's true. It's true. But I will say, Rob, that you agree on paper, because obviously, who knows with these guys. But on paper, Rob, the Lakers, because they've played well in stints and in certain games with just LeBron and AD. They need shooting. That's their biggest weakness, because when AD's there, they're a good defensive team. AD can man the middle on both sides of the floor. LeBron is playing really more like a true small forward and just putting up buckets. And you bring in Kyrie, who can shoot. Their main issue is they can't shoot. They're bottom 5 in the league in 3-point percentage.
Oh, no.
But you bring him in, you got Rui Hachimura, who's a pretty good shooter. Like, they would be legit. But Rob, I don't think they're going to get. In fact, I was asked this today on First Things First. Where, trade deadline is February 9th. Where do you expect Kyrie to be February 10th? You know what I said, Rob?
What's that?
Brooklyn.
Yep.
I mean, would you answer that
Chris,
the same way?
I agree. That's the same answer I would give. Because the way that they handled the Durant thing, Chris, and I remember you saying this on the show. You said it before. Like, I wouldn't trade him. I don't care. That's what you said.
Yep.
I would, and that's what they did. And it worked out for them, Chris. That's like ages ago. It feels like ages ago. Durant was playing great, right? The team was winning. It was all about basketball. Like it almost like it never happened. That's how fast you could get over it and move forward. And they did the right thing. Sometimes, people could be like, "Oh, he don't want to be here. Let's get rid of him. Just get rid of him, no matter what." You don't get rid of talent,
absolutely,
like that.
Right.
That you can't. You hurt your franchise. And remember, it's a business.
Yeah, and you got to have some backbone. And the Nets weren't showing backbone, Rob, early in their dealings with Durant or Kyrie.
It's changed now.
Right. Lately they have, and that's what it takes. So